Hey, what's up everyone? It's your boy, Mario, back again with another Gamma 19 devlog. And today I'm going to show you how you can make dialogue boxes, text boxes, like how we do it here in Gamma 19. Alright, to start with, the process of making a text box in Gamma 19 is the same way how we did it with Suit's Absolute Power. It's modified a bit due to the fact that our text boxes are now working slightly differently, but for the most part, it's just the same thing. So we have a function that creates a text box. And it takes in 3 inputs this time. It takes in the name of the character talking, the text that the character is saying, and the image of the character. And that image can be whatever want it to be. I mean, we're using it differently now. In Suit's Absolute Power, there's no like character images or anything like that for the text boxes, but for Gamma 19, we're going to be doing it. And so yeah, so we have here, we're going to check to see if this instance of an object exists of the text box object, and if it doesn't, then we'll create it, and if it does, we'll use whichever text box object, or technically this is using all the text box objects that exist and overriding their variables here. Now, because of the way I designed it, there should never be more than one text box at a time. And a lot of these, and this was done more for efficiency, because originally with Suits, it would make a text box, delete the text box, remake a text box. And the problem would be that it would always constantly open the little animation of opening and closing the text box, which didn't really look too good, especially when you had a lot of dialogue. It kind of got annoying. And so I fixed that just by saying, hey, instead of creating a new instance, let's just use the same one and then just reset some of its values and change some things. And so as you can see, we have a name value, the text value, text image, and the parent, which just means which it's just a little thing there for some more legacy code kind of stuff. Basically just like, oh, once the text box is done, call back to the parent and continue on certain alarm function. And so yeah, so let's just get into the text box now. So as you saw, we have all these variables that we hold our text and all that stuff, and we have a voice variable. It's new. I'll go over that just in a second. Anyway, so we have our alarm function, which is what I would call the text builder, and this checks the length of the current of this variable, draw text. And draw text is basically the text that you are seeing constructed in your eyes, just like in the beginning of the video. And text is just the entire text. So we compare the lengths, and if the draw text is not equal to same length, or if it's still less than the length of text, then we keep going on with this code here, all this code. And if not, or if it is, we stop running this function, or we stop running the text builder, and we set these values to true. So anyway, we have a few things in here. We have next character, which is a lowercase value. This is just a variable to check, I guess, the next character, and we'll go over why that's important. So this was something that was in Suits 2, but we never used it. But now we're using it. Draw text, of course, it's the draw text, and we're just adding the next string to draw text, and then we're increasing the text count. The text count is basically like which character are we on now. So if we're on character 0, now we're on character 1, and then once we run this loop again, we should be good. This function here, well, I can probably just do something like this to make it a little bit cleaner, is just a kind of like what I would call like a flip function, a little flip statement kind of thing. I don't know. It's basically just, there's a variable. It doesn't really do anything other than setting itself to false when it's true and true when it's false. And that is a good way, just be like on and off, back and forth. do certain things. Like in Suits 2, we had it so that it wouldn't play the typing sound. It basically plays the typing sound every other character. Then we have a switch function now. Now again, this was also in Suit to Absolute Power, but we didn't use it because we didn't see it as necessary, and it was kind of, some people didn't like it. We liked it, but some people didn't like the pausing at the periods and the exclamation mark and stuff like that. So that's what I would call cinematic text, but now we're going to use it again here. We might tweak some values to make it a little bit more enjoyable, but for now we're using it mainly for our new system, which is our voice system, which is what you heard when you were listening to when you're watching the first part of this video, the beginning of the video. And that's, we have like now sort of like, you know, most games you hear, they have a little sound whenever they play their text, but we wanted to do it a little differently. So I know you might have not heard of this. There's a really niche indie game called Undertale out there that has a similar system to that, where it's like, you know, the characters have their own voices, but it's kind of like the same like voice in a sense, same sound, just kind of plays like you know, like just like that, exactly like that. But I thought, how about we had something like Animal Crossing? You know, Animal Crossing has that kind of like fake gibberish, but I don't really know what exactly it is doing. Everything I tried looking up is kind of like, well, it could be using some real Japanese with the Japanese version, but for the American version, we really don't know. It's probably just really random gibberish. And so I thought of this idea of using vowels, and basically the text box, every time it hits a vowel, it'll play a sound. So every character it hits that is a vowel, play this certain sound. And so so Gabe, Will, and I recorded our voices, just making like pronunciations of these vowels. And then Gabe made one called Coral, which is one you heard in the beginning of this video. That is a synthesized voice, sort of like just really using like instruments to make the voice. And when we tested it out, we thought that was really good. Like, it was a really good idea, but it could be a little bit better. Problem was, you have no in-between fillings, and like, you know, basically every other letter that wasn't a vowel just didn't make a noise. So we made a kind of what I call the filler noise. Just played a kind of like a default noise. It played two. It played a default one and the same default voice, but just with a lower pitch. And so that way it can sound more varied and nice, rather than just kind of like. And so yeah, so that's just a few things. If you're making a text box system with that kind of sound stuff, make sure you take into account things like speed of the text, like how fast it's drawing. Make sure to take into account like how long these sounds play for. I can like just open up like this one. They all approximately play around like 0.3 seconds long. They're 0.3 seconds long. And so, yeah, with that, you can just, you know, let's see. Yeah. That's kind of a general overview of this like text box system, how it goes. And you don't necessarily have to do it the way I do it. I suggest you try finding your own way of doing it. Like, you know, that's the thing. Look at what other people are doing. Look what we're doing, and then try to make something yourself. Like, that's just kind of how you learn. I mean, you can always copy what we did. I wouldn't mind. I'm not gonna get angry, maybe just a little. But I really, you know, would like to see what you guys would do if you guys, you know, or if you understand how this works. It's actually pretty simple. You know, how we set all that, and this is all up. And yeah, and just to let you know, this part here, it changes. It basically runs this loop every 3 frames. So if I set it to 1, it would be really fast and not really enjoyable to listen to. But I think now I'll show you guys every voice in the game so far. So I'll start by changing this value to 0. which would be Gabe's voice. Yo, hey, yo, 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 yo. Alright guys, and that was all the sounds we have right now for the voices and stuff. You know, it might not sound that good, you know, and we'll change our own voices, but they're not really going to be in the game, I think. We're really mainly just doing this as like a test, a proof of concept, if you think about it. And we intend to actually kind of use our own voices to like and heavily modify them, just to make different voices for the characters and all that. You know, just have a big old thing of voices for these characters. And yeah, and that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, tell me how you think, if you like this if you like the new format. You know, try and make these videos a lot shorter. And if you guys, you know, like what I'm talking about, what do you guys want to hear about next? If you guys got any ideas, well, of course you might not really know what I'm doing and what I have coming up next, but you know, always say, hey, can we see how this works? You know, just throw a comment down there, whether you enjoyed this video or not. Anyway, guys, that's all for what I have today. Hope you guys have a good one.